In the upcoming lessons, we're going to be covering the core fundamentals of writing some basic JavaScript code and how it's going to relate to what we're going to be doing in the upcoming lessons with Google Apps Script. So we're going to be covering how to set up a variable and how to store values into a variable. There's also functions work and how functions can run blocks of code, and how we can pass values into a function as well as return values back from that function and utilize them within our script. I've included this section just as a refresher for those that might not be as familiar with JavaScript. So you're welcome, if you are familiar with JavaScript, to skip over the next 4 lessons, as we're going to be covering some of the fundamentals with the variables, functions, loops, how to iterate through loops, and then also some of the built-in JavaScript methods that we're going to be utilizing, that we're making use of in the upcoming lessons. The code in the JavaScript demo, of course, is going to be written within the AppScript editor, online editor. So we're going to be coding within the online editor and focusing on the JavaScript code that's going to be the most relevant to the upcoming lessons and the code that we're going to be making use of the most within the upcoming lessons. So methods that we're going to be including are date and math. Also the JSON stringify and JSON parse. And the focus of the code that we're writing is going to be to write modern JavaScript. So we are using the arrow format for functions, which is a shorter format. And for those of you that are familiar with JavaScript, that's one of the nice things about AppScript, because the transition from writing JavaScript to writing AppScript is really easy and straightforward. And the difference is that, of course, Google Apps Script has a lot of different built-in libraries that can really power up your Google Workspace app. And as you've seen, and there's going to be a whole lot of them that we're going to be going through. So these are the built-in libraries. They all have different classes and methods associated with them. And having a fundamental understanding of JavaScript will really help with the upcoming lessons and writing Google Apps Script. So let's get started.